The video was only 10 seconds long, but those 10 seconds destroyed my decade-long marriage. The video, sent by a colleague, was time-stamped yesterday at 3:20 p.m. in a back alley near Mercy General Hospital. In it, the woman in the white blouse was my wife, Scarlett Harper, and the man beside her was Ryan Ford, the new PE teacher at Brookfield High School where she worked. They were intimate in the video. The man's hand was even wrapped around my wife's waist. Sitting in my office, I watched the clip over and over, each viewing feeling more absurd than the last. No, I had to be dreaming. This couldn't be my Scarlett. She swore to me, swore that I was the only man she would ever love. But the woman's every smile and frown, her elegant turn, that cream white shirt dress, it all pointed to one fact. It was my wife. Dr. Ethan, there's a consult needed in the ER. A colleague knocked on my door. I shut off the video, tossed my phone into the drawer, stood up, and walked out, forgetting to button my white coat. Every ray of sunlight hitting me fell harsh. Why, on such a beautiful afternoon, did I suddenly feel like I'd fallen into an abyss? My hands were shaking. I don't know how I got through that emergency surgery. Fortunately, my professionalism is ingrained. Only after I came to my senses did I realize the surgery had gone perfectly. Dr. Ethan, your surgeries are always so steady. A young nurse complimented me with a cheerful smile. I couldn't help but ask her, was there anything unusual about me during the surgery today? No, same as always. It was a reconstructive bone surgery that usually takes 2 hours, but you finished it in 1. She gave me a thumbs up. You truly live up to your name, Dr. Ethan. I forced a bitter smile. I didn't know where this composure came from. Just like any other day, I headed home after work, leaving even earlier than usual, wanted to see if my wife showed any sign of abnormality. As soon as I entered the yard, the aroma of cooking drifted from the kitchen. My wife was making soup for me. Hearing me come in, she brought the dishes to the table. Why are you back so early today? I ignored her question. Weren't you supposed to be tutoring students today? How come you're back already? She seemed perfectly composed. It finished early. These students are already doing well, so just a few intensive sessions were enough. By the way, I ran into Old Thompson at Brookfield High School today. He asked when you're free, wants to grab tea with you. I stared into her eyes, searching meticulously for any flicker of emotion, any trace of guilt. But her eyes held only tenderness. Everything seemed normal. At dinner tonight, she acted just like usual, serving me food, even carefully picking out the fish bones. Such a picture-perfect scene. But it just made me feel sick, because by then, I had already arranged to get the security footage from the afternoon. Not just from the alley yesterday, but from today as well. My wife hadn't attended her tutoring session at all today. She had left Brookfield High School early. On that same secluded path, she was with that PE teacher. In the surveillance footage, she was laughing, utterly joyful. It was a smile I knew well, the smile she used to give me when we were passionately in love. Except now, that smile was for someone else. Honey, why aren't you eating? Are you not feeling well? She looked at me gently. I forced a couple of mouthfuls. Maybe I'm just tired from the surgery today. I'm full. I'll head upstairs to rest. Let me make you some tea to help you feel refreshed. She started to get up. No need. You take your time eating. I went upstairs without looking back. The light from the desk lamp in the study was dim. I sat in my office chair, savoring this feeling again and again. It was painful, yet starkly clear. My wife, the woman I had loved deeply for a decade, had betrayed me. Like most people, I never thought infidelity would happen to me. It wasn't out of arrogance. As a successful orthopedic surgeon, I understood the value of give and take. I cherished my wife, our marriage, and every moment we'd shared building our life together. We hadn't had a single major fight in 10 years. I poured everything into nurturing our marriage. So when she wanted to become a high school teacher, I gave her my full support. She loved teaching, loved being around young people. She said it helped her stay young at heart, and I happily accepted that. I even doted on her like a princess. I always remembered her birthday, finding new ways to surprise her. The year before last, I secretly dressed up as her favorite pianist and played her favorite piece. She cried in my arms for a long time, telling me marrying me was the luckiest thing that had ever happened to her. But now, looking back, I wonder if those tears were fake. Sitting in the dark, the thought almost drove me insane. I don't know how much time passed before a soft knock came at the door. Honey, are you still working? Want some milk? Taking a deep breath, I pushed down my emotions. No, thanks. I'm about to turn in. She lingered by the door. You seem a bit off tonight. Did something happen at work? No, I'm just tired. Okay, well, try to get some rest. Don't overdo it. Her voice was as gentle as ever. I'm gonna go take a shower now. Shower. The word pierced me. Normally, I wouldn't have given it a second thought. But now, Now I couldn't stop wondering if she was trying to wash away the evidence of another man. I eased the door open. The sound of the shower running filled the silence. I picked up her phone from the nightstand. The passcode was still our anniversary. That hadn't changed. But I scrolled through her call history, her texts, even iMessage. Everything looked normal. Too normal. It seemed she'd anticipated this, covering her tracks meticulously. But I knew affairs always leave trail. I went to my computer and hacked into her cloud accounts. Within minutes, I had everything. She had a secret account, an account she used almost daily to talk to this guy, Ryan Ford. Intimate messages, outright confessions of love. Photos, too. This wasn't new. It looked like they'd been hooking up since last month. The guy was the new 10th grade PE teacher, rumored to be a retired state-level athlete. Young, good-looking, a hit with the students. They'd met at a faculty sports day at Brookfield High. Ryan Ford made the first move, striking up a conversation, and my wife fell for his smooth talk almost instantly. I read through every single message, the flirty exchanges nearly grinding my teeth to dust. But I knew I couldn't react yet. I saved copies of everything, put her phone back exactly where I found it, and pretended to be fast asleep. She emerged from the bathroom, trailing the scent of her body wash. She slipped into bed carefully, as though trying not to disturb me. Her hand, warm, brushed my forehead. Sleep now, honey. I didn't sleep a wink that night. I lay there, waiting to see what she'd do next. And, just as I expected, the next day, she used tutoring as an excuse to see him again. More tutoring today? I asked casually that morning. Mock exams are next week. The kids are super nervous, she answered, applying her makeup. I won't be too late, though. All right, try to be back early, I said, keeping my voice even. She nodded. Okay, do you have surgeries today? Yeah, 2 scheduled. Don't overdo it, okay? She straightened my tie, her touch gentle. You've looked exhausted lately. I managed to smile. That's why I have you to look after me, right? She froze for a beat, like the comment threw her. Then just as quickly she smiled back. Well, of course. I am your wife after all. But is your heart still here with me? The question echoed in my mind. I watched her walk out the door. Then I picked up my phone. Keep on her today. Record everything. My colleague answered, You got it, Dirk. Ethan, don't worry. I performed my surgeries flawlessly that day. No one suspected a thing. Inside, though, I was bleeding out. I pulled up the live video feed from my colleague. There she was with him, not tutoring. They were at a Starbucks reserve, sitting in a quiet corner, laughing together. He kept reaching across the table, touching her hand, and she didn't pull back. I could see the adoration in her eyes when she looked at him. He'd say something, and she'd burst into happy laughter. It was a picture-perfect scene. For me, watching it was like being stabbed repeatedly. I shut off the video feed and forced myself to focus on patient charts. A young nurse organizing files beside me piped up, Dr. Ethan, your wife is amazing. Every time your scrubs get stained, she washes and presses them herself. They always look perfect. We're all so jealous you have such a devoted wife. She is, I said, forcing another smile. I'm a very lucky man. But that luck, that happiness. It now felt like a sick joke. I opened my phone again, compulsively checking the feed. And then I saw it. A moment that made my heart seize in my chest. He leaned across the table and kissed her. And my wife. She didn't just allow it. She kissed him back. Deeply. I stared at her face, so familiar, on the small screen. Suddenly, the room spun. I pushed myself up from the chair, staggering, grabbing the wall to keep my balance as I stumbled towards the restroom. I retched violently until there was nothing left in my stomach. Gradually, the shaking subsided. The face staring back at me from the mirror was ghostly pale. I turned on the faucet, splashing cold water on my cheeks. Then, I pulled out my phone again. Checked the feed. They'd already left the Starbucks. Stay with them. I ordered into the phone. A few minutes later, a text message arrived from my colleague. They've gone to the Hilton Garden Inn. My hand was trembling. God, how I wished it wasn't true. But the evidence was right there. I told my colleague to find out the room number at the Hilton Garden Inn. Then I dialed my wife's number. Hi, honey. Even over the phone, I could hear the tremor of panic in her voice. How was tutoring? It was fine, she stammered. The kids, they're doing okay. Good to hear. So, when do you think you'll be home? My voice was unnervingly calm. Oh, soon. Very soon. We're just wrapping up now, she said, her voice dropping to a whisper, as if talking to someone else in the room. Okay, just be safe on your way back. I ended the call. Then I sent a text to my colleague. Keep eyes on the room. Tell me the second they come out. An hour and a half later. Watching the two of them, fully dressed, walk out of the Hilton Garden Inn on the monitor, I felt a sudden sense of absurdity, as if none of it was real. I opened the monitoring software I'd installed on her phone. I saw the iMessage she'd just sent. Hubby's checking out, gotta go. Till next time. Ryan Ford replied. Missed you like crazy, baby. You looked beautiful today. My temples throbbed, but I knew it wasn't time yet. I needed to gather more evidence. I would make them pay the price they deserved. Not long after, my wife came home. She looked exhausted, but there was still a strange glint in her eyes. Why so late today? I asked, handing her a glass of water. The students weren't quite focused today, so I ran a little late, Scarlett Harper said, taking a sip of water. Did you eat? Yeah, a colleague brought something back for me. I looked at her. What about you? Have you eaten? I ate at Brookfield High School. She put the glass down. I'm going to take a shower first. She hurried into the bathroom. I stood outside the bathroom door, listening to the sound of the water running. Suddenly, I wanted to burst in, wrap my hands around her throat, and demand why she would do this to me. But I held back. It wasn't time yet. I would make her understand the true cost of betrayal. I went back to my study and continued working. The next morning, I went to work as usual. Around noon, I got a call. It was the gym teacher. Dr. Ethan, hello. This is Scarlett's colleague, Ryan Ford. His voice was smooth and polite. I was wondering if you might be free around noon. I'd like to meet with you. I scoffed inwardly. What's this about? Well, Brookfield High School is planning to organize an NCAA exhibition game, and we were hoping you might consider being a judge. He sounded very casual about it. Would you be interested? Sure, I agreed readily. How about lunch today? My treat. We can discuss the details then. All right, send me the address. After hanging up, I let out a cold laugh. This guy really had some nerve, daring to ask me to meet him. He had no idea I already had all the evidence against him. At noon, I arrived right on time. He'd chosen an upscale restaurant. Dr. Ethan, it's an honor. He stood up smoothly. I've heard Scarlett mention you back at Brookfield High School. Said you're a top doctor at Mercy General Hospital. We shook hands. Mr. Ford, you flatter me. I hear you used to play for the state team. That's right. He smiled. After retiring, I wanted a stable job, so I became a teacher. We sat down and ordered. He was a smooth talker, articulate, dropping compliments here and there. Definitely the kind of guy who knew how to charm people. I pretended to know nothing, chatting casually with him. By the way, I heard you and Scarlett were college classmates? He asked suddenly. Yes. I smiled. We've been together for a decade now. No wonder. He nodded. Scarlett often mentions you, says you treat her very well. Oh, really? She talks about me often at Brookfield High School. Absolutely. His expression was perfectly natural. She says you're a wonderful husband, completely devoted to her. I raised my wine glass. Mr. Ford, care to join me for a drink? Sure. He picked up his glass, too. I'm not much of a drinker, though. No problem. Just have what you like. We clinked glasses. His gaze was direct, showing no hint of guilt. I couldn't fathom how someone like him could sit across from me with such audacity. After the meal, I suggested we split the bill. He insisted on paying. Dr. Ethan, you're my senior. I couldn't possibly let you pay. I didn't argue. As we were leaving, he said, Dr. Ethan, you should come play ball at Brookfield High sometime. Sounds good. I replied with a smile. Watching his retreating back, my gaze turned cold. Soon, you won't be smiling anymore. Back at Mercy General Hospital, I began formulating my plan. A plan designed to make them pay dearly. I gathered all the evidence. Videos, chat logs, surveillance footage. Then I had someone make backups. I would make them break down in despair. When I got home that evening, my wife had already made dinner. How was your day? She asked, ladling soup into my bowl. It was fine. I took a sip of soup. I met with Ryan Ford from your school today. Her hand trembled slightly. Mr. Ford? Yeah, he invited me to lunch. Said Brookfield High is organizing an NCAA exhibition game and asked me to be a judge. I looked her straight in the eye. What do you think? That's nice. She looked down. You work so hard. You deserve a break. Yeah, I smiled. Seems like a great atmosphere at your school. The teachers all seem to get along well. Her expression became a little strained. Why, yes, they do. Oh, and Ryan Ford mentioned you talk about me often at school? Her chopsticks clattered to the floor. Did he? I don't remember. Why so jumpy? I picked up the chopsticks. It's just mentioning me. Nothing to be nervous about, is there? And no, not nervous. She forced a smile. Just a little tired. Then you should get some rest early tonight, I said. I still have some work to finish up. She looked relieved. Okay. Watching her walk away, I knew. It was time. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I kept gathering evidence. For a whole week, I had someone film every one of their secret meetings, from the Starbucks reserve to the Hilton Garden Inn. I even bribed the front desk clerk at the Hilton Garden Inn and got their check-in records. I even managed to get audio recordings of them in bed. I wanted them to have no room to argue when I finally confronted them. That afternoon, I came home early. My wife was out meeting that man again. I sat in the living room, waiting for her. She came back around 7. Seeing me sitting in the dark, she jumped. Honey, why are you sitting here? I switched on the table lamp. Waiting for you. Why you're home so early today? Her voice trembled slightly. Wanted to surprise you, I said softly. Come sit down. She hesitated, but walked over. So, how did tutoring go today? I asked. It was fine. Was it? I pulled out my phone. Let's see just how you were tutoring. I played the video. On the screen, she and Ryan Ford were embracing intimately inside the Starbucks reserve. She shuddered. Honey, I can explain. Explain what? I sneered. Explain how you betrayed me. I brought out all the evidence. Videos, chat logs. She collapsed onto the sofa, her face deathly pale. Honey, I'm sorry. She suddenly dropped to her knees. I know I was wrong. Please, can you forgive me? I stared at her. Forgive you? Do you really think that's possible? I really know I was wrong. She clung to my leg. I don't want Ryan Ford. I only want you. Please, just give me one more chance. I push her away. A chance? Do you deserve one? I threw the divorce papers in front of her. Sign them. No. She ripped the papers to shreds. I don't want a divorce. Honey, I was wrong. I was really wrong. You can hit me, yell at me, anything. Just please don't divorce me, okay? I laughed coldly. You think I'm going to stay with a cheater? Honey, tears streamed down her face as she sobbed. I really know I was wrong. Please believe me, okay? I'll never do it again. I played an audio recording. It was her conversation with Ryan Ford in bed. She was saying Ryan Ford was the one she loved most. Saying she was only with me out of habit. Saying Ryan Ford gave her passion she'd never felt before. She looked like she'd been struck by lightning, collapsing to the floor. No, it's not like that. She mumbled. Not like that. Then how is it? I watched her coldly. Did you ever think about me when you were betraying me? Honey, I really know I was wrong. She wouldn't let go of my leg. I'll do anything you ask. Just please don't divorce me, okay? I kicked her away. You make me sick. I produced a fresh set of divorce papers. Sign them. No. She stared at me in horror. You can't. Then you should sign them quickly. I sneered. Or do you think Brookfield High will keep a teacher who's sleeping with a colleague? She trembled violently. How did you become like this? Who turned me into this? I scoffed. Scarlett Harper, you're really something else. Turning me into this, and you have the nerve to blame me. She was sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. Honey, please let me explain, okay? I really didn't mean to. Didn't mean to? I laughed. Then what? Were you forced? I just wasn't thinking clearly. Not thinking clearly? I projected all the evidence onto the wall. Take a look. Does all this look like not thinking clearly? Staring at the images on the wall, she completely broke down. I was wrong. I was really wrong. She clung to my leg again. Please forgive me this one time, okay? I'll never dare do it again. I watched her coldly. Do you think that's possible? I threw the divorce papers in front of her again. Sign, or face the consequences. Her hand shaking, she picked up the pen. Hey, are you really kicking me out? What else? I sneered. Keep you around to disgust me? She cried uncontrollably. Honey, we've been together for a decade. Yeah, decade, I nodded. And look how you treated me. She buried her face against my leg. Please, just give me one more chance, okay? I'll do anything. Anything, I scoffed. Are you willing to die? She recoiled. How could you say something like that? Why? Can't I even say that? I stared at her. When you were betraying me, why didn't you think about how I felt? She broke down, sobbing hysterically. I was wrong. I was really wrong. I kicked her away. Sigh. She collapsed on the floor, shaking uncontrollably. Honey, you really don't want me anymore? What do you think? I sneered. Why would I keep a bitch like you around? She covered her face in anguish. Why would you say that about me? Am I wrong? I held the phone in front of her face. Listen to yourself. Listen to what you said in bed. Her voice came from the recording. Ryan Ford, you're the one I love most. She clapped her hands over her ears, breaking down. Stop playing it, please stop. What? Hearing your own voice makes you sick. I sneered. Then why didn't you feel sick when you were doing it? She curled up on the floor in agony. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Don't apologize to me. I held out the pen. Sigh. Trembling, she took the pen. Why, you're really not going to forgive me? Do you think that's possible? I watched her coldly. Sign it now, while I still have some patience left. She looked at me, tears flowing endlessly. Honey, I really do love you. Love me? I sneered. Is sleeping with another man how you show your love? She lay limply on the floor. I really know I was wrong. Sigh. I didn't want to hear any more of her excuses. Finally, she signed the divorce papers. See, can you let me pack my things? No need. I laughed coldly. I've already thrown your stuff out. Now get the hell out. Honey, don't call me husband. I cut her off. It makes me sick. She staggered her feet. Then I'll leave. Wait, I stopped her. You think it's over just like that? She turned back, trembling. What else do you want? Nothing much. I smiled slightly. Just wanted to tell you, this is only the beginning. She stared at me in terror. What do you mean? You'll find out soon enough, I sneered. Now, get out. Watching her retreating figure stumble away, I knew my revenge had just begun. The next morning, my phone started ringing off the hook. They were all about my wife. Turns out, the evidence had already spread online. Videos, chat logs, hotel records, everything. Overnight, my wife became known everywhere as a cheater. The other man didn't fare much better. All his dirty laundry was aired out. Turns out, my wife wasn't the only one he'd seduced. He deceived several other married women. Someone even revealed he had a history of sexual harassment back when he was on a varsity team. Brookfield High School fired him immediately. My wife was suspended pending investigation. Dr. Ethan, are you okay? A colleague asked cautiously. I'm fine, I smiled. The inevitable always arrives. I went on with my surgeries, saw my patients, as if everything was normal, but everyone knew my wife had cheated on me, and that man couldn't stay in this city anymore. When I got home that evening, I received an iMessage from my wife. Honey, this was you, wasn't it? I didn't reply. Not long after, she called. I hung up. She texted again. Please, just let me go, okay? I know I was wrong. I replied with a cold smirk. This is just the beginning. She quickly texted back. What do you want? Didn't you say you'd do anything? I typed. Then just watch. She didn't reply again. I knew she must be panicking, but this was only the beginning. The next day, I had someone release more evidence, including audio recordings of her and that man in bed. The whole city erupted. My God, did she really say Ryan Ford was better than her husband? So shameless, especially after how good her husband was to her. I heard her husband is a director at Mercy General Hospital. He's got everything going for him, and she hooks up with a PE teacher. A woman like that deserves what she gets. Public opinion turned overwhelmingly against her. Her affair was the talk of the town. Everyone was calling her shameless. She texted me, please stop releasing things, okay? I really can't take it anymore. I replied, can't take it? Why didn't you say you couldn't take it when you were betraying me? She quickly replied, I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. I'll do anything you ask. Please just let me go, okay? I sneered. Anything? Then you might as well just die. She didn't reply again, but I knew she must be breaking down. This was exactly the effect I wanted. I wanted to make her life a living hell, just like she made my life a living hell. 2 days later, she came looking for me at Mercy General Hospital. She looked completely haggard. Honey, she stood at my office door, looking at me pitifully. Get out, I said without looking up. Please, just let me go, okay? She sobbed. I really know I was wrong. You know you were wrong? I sneered. So what do you want now? For me to forgive you? I wouldn't dare ask, she said, looking down. I just wanted to beg you. Please don't release anything else, okay? Why shouldn't I? I looked at her. Isn't it good for everyone to know exactly what kind of person you are? I can't take it anymore. She knelt on the floor. Please, I'm begging you, let me go. If you can't take it, then die, I said coldly. You don't deserve to live anyway. She trembled all over. You've really changed. Yes, I've changed. I stood up and walked over to her. And who do I have to thank for making me this way? She covered her face in anguish. I'm sorry. Get out. I didn't want to see her anymore. Don't let me see you again. She stumbled out. I knew she was close to breaking, but it still wasn't enough. I wanted her to taste the full bitterness of betrayal. Just then, I received a message. The other man had run off, took all the money, and vanished without a trace. I smirked. That coward. Just as unreliable as I thought. My wife started calling me frantically. Honey, Ryan Ford is gone. He took all my money. I hung up. She texted again. Please help me. I have nowhere else to turn. I replied, isn't this perfect? Just die already. She didn't reply again, but I knew she must hate that man with a passion now. And hate me too. Let her stew in her hatred. That was the effect I wanted. A decade later, I received the news. My wife had killed Ryan Ford. Turns out, the man hadn't run far at all. He was hiding in a Motel 6. My wife found him and stabbed him 17 times with a fruit knife. Then, she jumped from the building, killing herself. Before she died, she sent me one last message. Husband, I finally know I was wrong, but it's too late. I'm sorry. I won't dare to do it again in the next life. I was performing surgery when I saw the message. My hand remained steady. After the surgery, I looked at myself in the mirror. I couldn't tell if I was crying or laughing. A decade of love had ended just like that. My wife was dead, The man was dead. It was the ending they deserved. I gathered my things, ready to leave work. A nurse ran over. Dr. Ethan, are you okay? I'm fine, I smiled. Life goes on. I drove home. I passed a flower shop and remember my wife's favorite flower was the white rose. But I didn't stop. She no longer deserved flowers from me. Back home, I turned on the lights. The house still held her scent. I shook my head and opened the windows, letting in fresh air. Let the past be the past. My life had to go on. I could live well without her. I slept soundly that night. It was as if a heavy stone had finally been lifted from my heart. 3 years passed. I opened a private clinic in a new city. Business was good. I saw a lot of patients every day. I was still the same gentle doctor. No one knew my past. No one knew I'd been married. One day, a beautiful young woman came in. She said a former patient had recommended me, praising my skills. During the examination, she kept glancing at me. Perhaps she found me attractive. I just smiled politely. I wrote her a prescription and sent her on her way. As she left, she looked back. Doctor, she said, can I add you on iMessage? I'm sorry, I replied with a smile. I don't have patience on iMessage. She looked a little disappointed, but she still managed a smile. Okay, she said. I'll come back for my next appointment. I opened the window and lit a cigarette. Looking out at the bustling traffic, I suddenly felt that the world was a beautiful place. No more betrayal, no more hurt. Just me. It was good. The end.